Welcome to this week's press preview alongside Justin Kahn. I'm Aaron Dow. We're getting to it. I mean, we're getting through the tournament. We're getting into regionals here in a couple weeks or so, and it's kind of an exciting time. I mean, I know that stretch kind of after the Christmas tournaments can kind of lull, get into a lull a little bit, but. Tournaments have been great so far, and CIC going on right now. You got St. Teresa and Warrensburg. Kind of the consensus 1-2 have kind of eased their way into the final game.
And I think that this is a kind of like you said, we hit a lull there, and this is what we've been waiting for. This is the game that pretty much anybody following area basketball and in particular the CIC has been waiting for. Is this St. T Warrensburg matchup? We have Christian Williams back. And, right now, St. Teresa, and I would not have, thought I would say this, even with Christian back, I'm surprised I'm saying this. Right now, they look like the best team in the CIC, and I would think that they're the favorite in Friday night's game. Warrensburg had the loss to Monticello, in which they, it just didn't. They didn't play real well. Mm-hmm. They had their first game of the CIC tournament. They played A&M and had struggled a little bit putting away A&M. And then I saw them last night against Clinton, who I want to talk a little bit more about in a minute. But that game was close early. It was 15-15 late in the first quarter. Then it did seem like something clicked a little bit. Warrensburg kind of found something, went on a 15-0 run, what you're used to seeing from Warrensburg, where they, all of a sudden that press starts causing a bunch of turnovers, and you're like, okay, here we go. They were without Weston Nodelman,
right,
who was hurt. He might be back Friday. I know Vic Binkley said they don't want to bring him back unless he's at 100%. I have a feeling Weston will say, he'll have his say on that too. But I mean, it just feels right now people can't score on St. Teresa right now.
Yeah,
it's that the zone is with Christian back. I think that's kind of you think, okay, Christian's going to really help their offense out. It's been defensively almost where he's been just devastating for them.
And I think, talking about Weston a little bit, I think, you can kind of mask that on offense because there's so many different players that can kind of take over on offense and score. But I think defensively and having Nodelman on that 1-2-2 press, that's where, if he is that, I think that's where that really hurts because he's so long, he has good instincts, getting a steal on that press. And I think if it's kind of disappointing, and I kind of don't want everybody to be at full strength for that final game, but should be a great game either way. And you're talking about the defense. I just has been able to expand that zone for St. T, and with Christian in there, he's so long. You really don't have a whole lot of passing lanes that you can get inside, and the fact that they can kind of spread that out and close out and 3-point shooters that much better, it's going to be tough for Warrensburg.
Like you said, first of all, Nodelman, I really do think he's kind of unsung. He doesn't put up a ton of. He is sort of the odd man out scoring a lot of times. He doesn't do a ton of scoring. He's capable of it. I think on a different team he would be a guy who scored double figures and points. But defensively, you can't necessarily. I mean, that's a guy who I think a lot of teams are scared of just because he is just so long and active on that zone, and he really does start a lot of fast breaks that end in other guys scoring, and he's good in transition as well.
Right.
With Christian, you can't really pass inside that zone. I mean, if it's not Christian tipping it, it's somebody else tipping it, and when they tip it, Christian ends up with it. Because he just has a great nose for the ball, and I mean he blocked several shots against Tuscola last night, and I think you're seeing teams start out with a game plan. It doesn't work early. They get frustrated and start taking bad shots, and St. T's just squashing people. I think Warrensburg's good enough and disciplined enough and has good enough shooters where that's not going to necessarily happen to them. But right now it's pretty impressive to watch. And even though it feels like right now that Warrensburg's kind of in a slump, Vic Binkley used that word last night, and St. Teresa's on a great roll. I just have a feeling this game is going to be a real battle of heavyweights. I think it'll be a tight game, and I think all the two matchups and probably three matchups will all be like that.
No, I completely agree. I think talking about a slump for Warrensburg. I mean, it's still one of those things where it's like they're still playing really well.
They lost one game. They've lost one game, right? Yeah.
And I think you do have that undefeated season that kind of pushed you a little bit, but I do think that there is a real thing where if you're a team that is that good, I mean, getting into that time between the Christmas tournament and the CIC tournament, I think there is time where you can kind of you really have to push yourself because you can get like, okay, well, next game. Well, it takes a long time to get to that tournament, to the regionals. I think, a team like Warrensburg or Dietrich that is on that long undefeated run, that can kind of be a spot to catch you.
And Warrensburg lost to Monticello last year in the regular season, and of course they're not in the conference now. But they had the loss. They had a little lull where you're like, well, maybe these guys aren't quite as good as we thought. And then of course they ended up a couple points from going to winning that sectional.
Right.
So yeah, I don't worry about Warrensburg. I think, and I just think this is going to be some great battles between them and a St. Teresa team that's really found it right now. They were obviously in a lull at one point in the season when they didn't have Christian, so that's given them a boost of energy at a time when a lot of teams, are like, oh, let's just get to the regionals, So I think there's some of that going on.
And the rest of the field, the CIC, which I think is fairly even. I mean, you've had teams that are kind of beating up on each other. You talked about Clinton a little bit, kind of being from last year, definitely a breakout team this year. And A&M and Sullivan are in the Constellation Championship that's being played probably a couple hours from when we speak. I think it's a pretty even field underneath St. T and Warrensburg, and really, I mean, it seems like any of those teams can kind of end up on the winning side, depending on how well they play that night.
On the positive side of it, Clinton, I saw them last night. They had they got blown out by Warrensburg eventually in that game, but they did, early on they competed, and I do think, you wrote a story about them recently, and I really do think that they're a much improved team and have a really bright future. They have, Peyton McCubbin's a sophomore. He's a tall, long kid who has, some perimeter skills and can get in there and rebound as well. They have a lot of juniors, including a guy I was really impressed with in Jacob Overton, who's a point guard who's just a real, gutsy kid. And some other juniors, Tanner White, Colin Underwood, and then the scuttle sort of is that they have a really good freshman class that will start contributing a lot next year. So I think they're a team to watch as early as next year as a team. I mean, obviously, Warrensburg and St. Teresa, Meridian, they're going to be there, but I think Clinton is going to put themselves in that conversation next year.
They already have as many wins as they had the last 3 years combined, and you have that junior class that has so much experience. I mean, majority of them, started their sophomore year. We got 4 of their starters coming back from last year, and so much experience. I think next year you have that huge junior class, and McCubbin, who's will be a junior. I think that's a team that we'll see kind of how they shake up in that the CIC. But I think they have a lot of potential considering the last 2 years, how tough it's been the last couple of years.
And it's tough when you're the team that just never wins to all of a sudden. That's an adjustment, and I think we're seeing that this year, and I think they're doing a pretty good job of it.
Yeah.
On the other side of that, Meridian, that's a team that I know I said I thought that they would win 20 and not have these periods of struggles. They've struggled way worse than I ever expected, and I think you could say, well, maybe the expectations were too high for them. It is, a couple sophomores in Quan Bradford and Lane Kircher and some juniors that weren't necessarily like the guys who led the team last year, and Drake Baker and Judah Renfro.
Right.
I know that Jack Blickensurfer is disappointed that this team isn't better. I know he's sort of struggled. What am I doing wrong? What's going wrong here? They have had injuries. It seems like there's been right now it's Dalton Collins. They had Drake Baker was hurt early, and Kircher was hurt. So there are those sort of this it hasn't been ideal for them, and it's maybe not a team that can necessarily handle that. And I think they'll be back next year. I think that's going to be a tough team next year. But at this point, with that regional with Warrensburg and St. Teresa in it, it is sort of like they're pretty much lodged as a number 3 seed in that now, and boy, and then they just lost to Sullivan. I still think they're the number 3 seed in that regional, but it's kind of at this point kind of tough to see them really making any major turnaround. I mean, maybe they pull an upset here or there down the stretch, but I just at this point don't see them in that mix for the regional title with St. T and Warrensburg. It's hard to picture that right now as well as those two teams have played.
The other big tournament, National Trail Conference, Dietrich came out and beat St. Anthony pretty handily. I mean, it wasn't even close. I think they got up to an 18-1 lead. They held Evans came St. Anthony without a field goal in the whole first quarter. Dietrich now 24-0 after beating St. Elmo Brownstown for the second time. Is who pushed them quite a bit in that semifinal game. I know there's been a lot of 1A coaches that have asked me, how's here in the Decatur area, okay, what's Dietrich like? They're creating quite a buzz. I mean, they're one of the few undefeated teams still in the state. Springfield Lutheran.
It's pretty much those
in
two.
1A. I mean, that's it. And I know that's something that you always get asked about. And I talked to Devin Heron's dad, and he said, he before the finals, he had his kid, he put Devin out in the farm and had him do some chores and try to take his mind off the undefeated season and just try to, because it is a lot. I mean, I know they had the great year last year. They had the great run, first sectional title in school history, and so that does compound. But I think they handled it as well as anybody's going to handle it on Saturday. I mean, they looked really, really good. Alex Bonhoff, so quick and able to get around some of the bigger Effingham St. Anthony defenders and able to draw fouls like he's done all year. But it's a really solid team. They kind of have. Everybody's healthy. There's a little bit of scare with Travis Nieberg coming down after a dunk attempt, but it looks like everybody is good to go, and they've continued this undefeated run. It's interesting to see how if they can keep that going and do that in regionals and sectionals.
An interesting game we have coming up. Also, we have the CIC Tournament Championship with Warrensburg and St. Teresa's Friday. The same night, we have MacArthur Lincoln, the second game they've played this season. The first one was the best game I've watched all year, just as far as both quality and good end of the game drama type thing. Yeah. I still feel like I did before that game that MacArthur is a tough matchup for Lincoln, just with their athletic ability and a number of guys they have who can score. At the same time, Lincoln's good enough to beat MacArthur, and I wouldn't be surprised if MacArthur lost this game. But I do feel like in the end, when they meet in a regional, MacArthur is the better team. But I think anytime you can, get a chance to catch those two teams playing, that's worth seeing.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the Central State is one of those where if you have the good matchup in that conference, you got a really good chance of winning. MacArthur's had trouble with Chatham Glenwood, and Eisenhower's beat Lanphier a couple times. I think it's just one of those conferences where everyone's pretty even, but it's just those matchups, and you can kind of exploit that a little bit. And MacArthur. Yeah, they can shoot the three as well as Lincoln, and if they can handle that and stay within themselves as Lincoln draws out possessions. Yeah, I agree. I think MacArthur is right there with Lincoln, and they've shown they've played really well last time. So I think it's one of those conferences where I don't really see a clear favorite, right. But there is that it just kind of how the matchups play each night, and if they can kind of overcome that, it's. Yeah, Central State, it's kind of a weird conference this year. No question. So a lot of fun basketball coming up, and we're kind of in this part of the year now where it's all going to come, crashing down here pretty fast for everyone. So a lot of fun. Make sure you check us out on Twitter and also at hrpreps.com and in the newspaper. We'll see you out at the games.